Hi everyone, welcome to my channel again. Today I'm going to teach you something that I know most of us have struggled with. I don't know about you guys, but I got the ScanNCut because I wanted to cut stamped images like this, like a whole page without spending hours and hours and hours doing all the details. And I was just never good at it. And you know how expensive the dyes are. So that's what I wanted it for. It was actually a present from my boyfriend for Christmas. So I'm very, very happy with it. But I've had a lot of issues with cutting stamped images, and I've learned a lot. And I'm going to share with you what these struggles are. I have this dog here that I'm going to cut. What I do usually is that I just stamp a whole page so I can get a lot done. And today I stamped some by mistake. You see here that they're not very clear. I actually didn't stamp the whole image. Over here the same. It's not well stamped. And what's going to happen is ScanNCut is not going to cut it well, of course, because it's not fully stamped. But I want to show you something. What ScanNCut does really well is cutting through lines that are very well connected like this. It's black enough, but it doesn't have to be this dark, but they're all connected. You see there are no gaps. So this image here, I know it does really well because I've done this in the past. This one, the same, everything's connected. But some stamps we know, and it happens a lot with, for example, flowers. Some of them, they have a lot of gaps. This one, for example, I didn't stamp it well, so it has a gap, but sometimes they have gaps like this because it's the way it is. Many flowers have that. We all know. So I'm going to teach you how to solve this problem. The first one is when you didn't stamp well, or if you have an image that didn't cut because it has some kind of gap that you need to connect. So what I do is, in this case here, I just take a Sharpie and I just do the lines themselves because it didn't stamp, but it doesn't mean that I can't fake it, right? So here's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna fake the lines with a black marker, whatever black marker you have. See? Now it's going to recognize and it's going to cut perfectly. Same thing with this sunflower. Good, now I see a problem here too, so I'm going to connect and this flower here. So it's really easy. If it's just a mistake that you made, you can just connect. And what I do is, if it's not a mistake and it's really part of the stamp and it's not cutting because it doesn't have a clear line, use a pencil. Connect the stamped image with your pencil and then erase it. That's the easiest way, really. See, so now it is perfect. All the lines are connected and it's going to cut the way it's supposed to be. I just finished it by hand, but you can use a pencil in case the stamp has that and it's the way it is. So let's go to the machine now and see how to do it there, okay? Okay, so I have already loaded the paper. It's here, it's all ready to go. And yes, I use those tapes because this mat never stays tacky enough, at least, especially when you have something like this, a lot of images, you know it's going to move around a lot, the blade. So that's what I do. So I'm going to show you now how to get these images cut. We are going to scan, direct cut. I'm going to save in the machine because it's just a temporary thing. Here you don't need to change this to color. I hardly ever do because even when it's colored images, I just leave it black and white. Most of the times it works. So I always try that first because it's faster. So we're going to have that whole page scanned, and then we're going to look to see what it looks like, to see if it really got everything. Let me just zoom in a little more here. There you go. Let's see what's going to pick up. I would say it would pick up everything. Yep, looks good to me. So you click OK, and here it is. So the first thing we're going to do is to resize this to get all this. See all these images here? It looks like it's a stamped image, but it's actually just glue and dirt on the map, on the mat. So what you're going to do is make sure you let the machine know that this is the only area. Just slide this to the area that you need cut. So looks good to me now. Yeah, that's fine. See, it recognized everything. See all these lines here? Let me get closer so you see better. See, everything is fine. It looks perfect because all the lines are connected. So it's going to pick up every single image. I can tell. You can just scroll it down and look to see if everything is there. See, everything. It's perfect. So I'm just going to say OK. And I think I have to go back now. No, cancel. So preview. And it's going to show me what's going to cut. And I'm going to say OK. Oh, the other thing that I always do is to add a border because I don't like it to be cut right on the line. So I always add 0.4. To me, that's perfect. It's going to have a light, a very, it's kind of short. It's not very wide border, but it's good enough. That's the size I like, but that's up to you. Some people like it 0.8, so you can just keep going up. But I like 0.4. To me, that's kind of perfect. So there you go. It added the border. Now we're going to select cut, and it's going to tell me how long it's going to take. You can test if you want. Usually it tests. This is what it would test, where it would test. Just cut a little piece, but I don't need it. I think it looks fine. So I'm just gonna do start. It's gonna take 4 minutes. That's all. I thought it would take much longer. So I'm going to stop now and come back with all the images cut so you see what it looks like, okay? But there it is. It's cutting. It's doing the job and it's doing really well, I can tell. There it is. I just love looking at it cutting the images. When I think about all the time that I save, oh my goodness, it would take me hours to cut this whole page. And now it's gonna take 4 minutes and I'm not gonna do a thing. Okay, so I'll come back with the images already, okay? So here is the magic done. I just cannot get over it. It's perfect, absolutely perfect. Let me show you. I have a dark paper here so you see the contrast. See how perfectly cut they are? And let me show you something. This is the border. Remember when I added the border? It's actually this white part here. That's the way I like to do it. I really like when it has a little bit of a white border around the image. And this is the 0.4. So if you want it a little bit wider, you just keep going, 0.8, 0.16, it just multiplies. But I think this is perfect. And this is the image you needed, perfectly cut, and now it's ready for coloring. But thank you for watching and until next time.